'Twas the year of our Lord 2025. What one man thought would be a pleasurable experience quickly spiraled into hell on earth. This is the story of the Mark IV Supra. The clapped out Mark IV Supra. Yeah. So the oil doesn't look great that came out of the Supra. It looks the opposite of great. It looks terrible. Or terrible if you took Spanish 100 in college like I did. Which I failed, by the way. And I'm pretty sure it's because I wouldn't go on a date with my... Doesn't matter. Anyway, point being, the oil looks awful in the Supra. So I have a decision to make, and the decision's an easy one. I got to pull the motor out, and I got to tear the oil pan off. I got to see what the guts look like in this thing, because I don't want to do all this work, put all this effort in, just to take a step back when I turn a key and have it chuck a rod due south right at my sphincter. The old sphincter to rod is not something I'm into. This isn't Rye's video, this is Logan's video. So I hate talking in third person, I'm sorry about that. Just to get an idea of where we left off, this is the engine bay now. Maybe I do a flashback. Okay, so here, look at the engine bay now, and now flashback. Flashback. Flashback, dude, come on. Yeah, so this is a flashback. The wiring all pretty much looks like that. The engine bay was kind of a hobgobbled up mess of just kind of trashy Mick junk is what it came out to look like. This is the good pile, like the stuff that I might be able to resell. It's direct port nitrous kit that I'm not gonna need. Pro EFI I'm not gonna need. Harnesses. The bad pile, excuse the sound of my rolly chair, but I'm just lazy. This is all the junk. I mean, it's hard to tell the depth of this, but again, this is all the stuff that came out of it, including like they had a junction box. This was for grounds, so they had this junction box. Doesn't matter. I'm not dwelling on the past. I think my biggest thing though that really pisses me off more than any of the wiring or anything is the fucking red and blue AN fittings. I don't know why. Why do people do that? Why? They're so ugly. Kenny Dangler is the only one that should be allowed to use them. If you don't know who Kenny Dangler is, then you need to Google his name right now. But yeah, I mean, everything. The whole thing is it was just a hot mess. So hopefully when I pull the engine out, it's not as bad internally as that stuff is externally. All right, got coolant draining out of this thing. Oil's already out of it. I do have to pull the upper water pipe radiator out. I'm gonna pull the front end off too, so it's easier to get the old jacking tin up in there. At least the bumper panels and stuff in this bumper retainer, just to get this out the way so I can get closer to the front end with the jack, with the hoist rather. But I'm sure you guys don't want to watch me do all that individually, so let's just time lapse it. I just don't have any music to put as backdrop to time lapses, and I wish I did, but I just don't. So I use just whatever stock audio they have, and all they have are these like old school hardcore rock like whatevers, and then I have to slow it down so YouTube doesn't pick it up and be like, it's copyrighted from some guy named Frank in the Ozarks. He's real big on his guitar riffs. He's copyrighted them. So anyway, that's why this terrible song is playing. Very sorry. Yeah, this is the final product of the old teardown today. So engine's out, trans is out, engine's on a stand. Next step is I got to get this engine bay degreased, power washed, and ready for some paint, because there's no way I'm leaving it looking like this before this thing gets refreshed and put back in. I also get to tear this thing down and see what those bearings look like. There was a ton of bearing material in the oil you saw at the beginning of the video. So I want to make sure that this thing is tip-top before I put it all back together. Parts over yonder, empty engine bay. We got a T56 Magnum sitting over here. Just a whole bunch of stuff. I also got to find a home for all the spare parts. One thing I'll say, this is actually sick. There's a lot of parts of this car that are trash. They're just junk. There's also a ton of parts on this car that are sick. It's got TBM brakes. It's got weld wheels. It's got a built 2J with billet mains. And if that engine is still refreshable, that's a big score. T56 Magnum, big score. Whoever did the exhaust, shout out to whoever did this exhaust, because they freaking killed it. Like, this thing tucks perfectly under the car, sounds awesome. Like, that exhaust I am super stoked on. It came out really nice. So again, there is some big time score rooskies on this build, but obviously there is some junk that I get to get through. That being said, we're gonna go ahead and hose this sucker down. Just a little simple green. Nothing crazy. Easy on metal. Oh, plug that firewall hole. No, it's fine. It's fine. There's nothing that can hurt. What about the fuse box? Just tug it out of the way. It's fine too. The self-tapper might get hurt though. Get rid of that. Let that stuff sit on there for a bit. Throw that screw out the way. I'm gonna see how you plug that hole. There you go. Plugged up like me after a big old meal. Right. All right, we all good? Charlie hates water, so every time the hose comes out, she just gets ready to kill. Winston, this dude's like loves water. Trying to bite the mist. Okay, all right, do you want to chase it? Go chase the water. He just want a little sip. All right, okay, easy. And this is the finished product of a quick scrub down. This is the tip of the iceberg, obviously. All the stuff has to come up off of it. We'll knock the rest. Any tabs I don't need anymore, I'll knock out, and I'll grind down and smooth out and paint the firewall, paint the frame rails, get everything painted up nice, have it looking prime time again. That's the goal. Someone had some Thai food for dinner. So, my curiosity has got the best of me. I'm going to pull the lower oil pan. You guys can see in real time what's discovered. I got no clue what to expect. Obviously the oil looked rough. Do you remember the beginning of this video? If you don't, I'm going to play the video again right now. And now you know exactly what that oil looked like again. So, we'll see. Oh, something tells me that bolt's stripped in the pan. You know what I need? I need a longer extension. This one's not long enough. See, the thing with having these VR glass thingies is you can realize, you see in real time what an idiot you are. I'm like 14 feet away from the damn oil pan trying to friggin' do these bolts. I might as well make it way worse. Right? That's funny. Oh, man. I just make everything harder on myself. I'm just trying to get a cheap laugh. And I'm over here looking like a friggin' noob, dude. Please tell me someone laughed at the extension. You didn't, did you? I wouldn't have. I'd be like, this idiot, dude. What is he doing? The one thing Toyota really nailed was oil pan bolts. They were like, you know, should we do 10? The engineer's like, no way, dude. Another guy's like, 10? What are you, a Nancy? Which, kind of sexist that they'd say that. We need 4,000. We need 20,000 in the lower. We want them to lose them all over the garage floor like a bunch of idiots. And then we need 30,000 more on the lower oil pan, upper oil pan. We need 12 oil pans. Not a unit less. I have to joke because, well, I'm nervous about what I'm about to find. This is my favorite one though. That's awesome. All right, no, everyone remember, those are oil pan bolts. And also remember, don't use a friggin' screwdriver on the lower oil pan. Especially don't use a screwdriver with a hammer. Don't do that. Like 4,000 gallons of Toyota sealant, it seems. So I won't be surprised if the pickup is clogged. There she goes. Oh no. Yeah, that's bad. That's not good. Well, the good news is it does have billet mains. That was a mild concern because they didn't buy them. The motor was already built when he got the car. So I was worried that we were going to have an engine that was billet mains, but it really wasn't. You see, billet mains, doing billet mains on a 2J is expensive. There's only a couple people that have done it like on a frequent enough basis that I would trust their work. And I was really hopeful that it would have billet mains because I didn't want to have to spend the money on billet mains. And it has billet mains. So that's good. If you're wondering, that's why I was concerned. 5 times, baby! 5 times in 19 seconds. Billet mains! Throw a 6 on there, boy! And it is. So that's dope. The oil looks charred. Like this thing has had some heat in her. But I need to just rip the thing down. Which is a bummer, but it is what it is. At least I'll know it's right, right? I would never trust a grown man that does this with his feet while he sits. You know what I mean? It's weird. But my cab's looking good though, right? All right, where I'm leaving this video off is in the current state with no engine, no trans, engine on stand, lower oil pan was pulled off. I just bolted it back up to keep it nice and tidy. But I'm gonna hit the pause button. I got a ton done this weekend. Every weekend I try to slay on a project till the thing is done done. And this project's gonna be no different. I wanna get through it, but I wanna do it nicely. This is too nice of a car to try to just slap together. And a lot of the times people get their hands on these second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth hand, and that's what they end up doing. That's, I think, what happened here by the whoever built the car last. If they somehow view these videos and see them, yeah, no, I just feel like you should never, ever do this again. Or just like maybe do it on a car that's not a Supra. Like start like I did on a 98 Civic. And then once you fuck the Civic up real good, then you can fuck a bunch of other cars up, which is what I did. And then eventually you could buy someone else's, fucked up Supra, and then you can build that. So that's what I would do. I wouldn't, sorry about all the F-bombs too. It's just I am sweaty. My pits smell like the inside of an anaconda's butthole in the Sahara. I don't know why an anaconda would be in the Sahara, but it's there and it stinks, and that's what I smell like. Just a snake poop, like a poop from a snake is what I smell like. Anyway, I'm sure you're tired of listening. Thank you guys for visiting, watching. I'm trying to come out with more content. That's the reason for these 3 short videos back to back to back. Every day I have filmed, I have edited, I have posted. But obviously I'm gonna go on a little bit of a sabbatical because I have a normal day job to pay my bills because we don't have enough subscribers for me to retire. And OnlyFans, they kicked me off. They said I was too gross. They said, get them off the screen, dude. We're losing subscribers. All right, I love you, bye. I'm just waiting on someone to steal this design. If you couldn't guess, it's a valve float. You get it? Valve float. It's a float with valves in it. You guys get it? It's funny. It is funny, and you know it's funny.